I know the black guy was gonna be the first to go? Why? Why did I know? Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another episode of The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. We're on season 2, episode 4, which is called Eldest. So the last episode, we went to the land of men, Numenor, and kind of saw the fallout from the war. And long story short, unfortunately, our Queen Regent managed to lose her crown to her cousin because of some cunning deception, as well as the fact that Isildur's sister exposed the fact that she had a Palantir, which the Numenors considered to be evil magic. And then a giant eagle showed up for the coronation, but everyone basically believed it was for her cousin and not for her. So land of men now being ruled by an absolute narcissist. Great news. And then as far as the other side, the Numenorian settlement, we got to get a little more information on what was going on with Arendir, the fact that he's lost somebody. Can't remember her name right now, but her son, he is very angry and doesn't want anything to do with Arendir, but he seems to be bonding with Isildur. And Isildur, while trying to get his horse back, ended up being in the middle of an ambush. Yeah, lots of not fun stuff going on in the world of men, basically. So anyhow, I'm interested to get back into the episode and see where we're going to go next, because honestly, there's so many different moving pieces right now that it's super interesting. So let's do that. But just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know when I drop these episodes, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you can be in the know. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. I do hope we get to find out what happened to Nori and Poppy this episode as well. I'm worried about them. One of my favorite storylines in the show right now, honestly, is that of the mage. I want to know who the mage is, where he came from. So much there that we still got so little of last season.
I trust you can recommend a set.
Trust? Me? Are you certain that's wise, Commander?
Oh, shut up.
But if you deem that duty beneath you, I will choose another.
Yeah, he's not going to fall for it. Thank you.
Yes, I can recommend an archer and 2 swordsmen.
You could have said that from the beginning, instead of the attitude. I can't believe y'all have not left. You haven't even left for Celebrimbor's place yet. I mean, I get it. You're immortal. You've got all the time in the world, but come on. Good news is it doesn't look too deep.
No earthly force could do this.
That's about to say. That was definitely on
This
purpose.
is the work of Sauron. There is evil in those hills.
The hills have eyes.
Sauron means for us to go that way. We must go another.
The enemy is doubtless watching both roads.
Yeah, I'd say someone's not a dummy. Pick your poison.
We won't reach anywhere at speed if we walk into a trap.
Whose fault is that?
We go south.
Okay, see what happens.
Opinion heard, Lieutenant.
He said rank.
Because I do not wish to see any of this company slain. Including you.
This is a rough one because they're both right. Sauron has definitely thought about both directions, but he probably did want the southern direction to be a much harder one for them. You think as elves they'd have ways to fly. You know, how if you watch the movies, you know that Gandalf was able to summon giant birds. Can elves not do that? They've only been around for 6 billion years. Hello? Hola? Oh!
So you found the goat.
The goat found me, but okay.
Well, there is what you're searching for, and there is what you find now, isn't there?
Oh Lord, not a philosopher farmer. So is that a no then to seeing the halflings? Or?
I had hoped that... my apologies. Just a moment.
What type of dark magic is happening right now? I don't think you're a goat farmer. What are you really? This tree looks very prophetic. For God's sakes, use magic! Bro, do you have any idea how hard it is to rip a branch off a tree? I mean, you look strong or whatever, but... That's right. I'm with the tree. How dare you? Imagine you sit there, someone walk, minding your business, and someone comes and tries to rip one of your arms off. Eat him up. Bye. Have fun in the tree. And then, just like that, the wizard was no more. Told you there was no regular goat farmer.
Poppy! Get up!
I mean, don't know, are you okay? Little girls are so brave.
I think we lost them.
Probably not.
Where'd you lot come from?
Ah!
Us?
What are you?
Live here.
Harfords live here.
I knew
What's
it.
an orphan?
Well, you are.
I'm nobody.
Well, he can't be nobody.
Maybe that's his name.
My mum calls me Mary Mac.
I'm Poppy.
Oh, little love connection. Okay. Poppy never going home. Leave her alone. Leave her alone, Nori.
I'm Nori.
Yeah, remember I'm here. Third wheeling already.
Either we're coming with you, or I will turn you in myself this moment. Water thief.
Desperate times, that's right. Poppy knows what's up.
1, never look her in the eye.
Fair enough.
B, always stand 3 steps back.
She smells that bad?
Was that 3 rules?
That was 3.
I wasn't really paying attention.
Alright, I bet you the 4th one you're gonna find out on the fly. Ooh, so these are the ethnic hobbits. Okay, this is where I'd be hanging out. Got the hobbits of color over here. This is so cute. I wonder if they built this whole set. And if so, when can I go?
Wait, if we put your brains in a vulture, it'll fly backwards.
Be nicer to him.
Oh, okay. She says, that's my man. You better claim him.
He's not an elf. He's a wizard.
Well, now that's interesting.
Well, the only wizard under these skies
The Dark Wizard.
is the Dark Wizard.
Oh, no, he's not dark.
It comes with a sandstorm from thin air that killed 2 of my men.
Well, you shouldn't have been messing with him.
And what of the halflings?
You might
Let's
have
go
lost
in the
them
desert
too.
even now.
Let the halflings be of sole concern. I will see to the Eastard myself.
Wizard fight! I mean, oh no.
Go to sleep.
Oh, I thought you were reaching into the tree's naughty bits. Very, very violating.
Back in the Withy window, folk used to call me
Tom
Bombadil.
Bombadil!
Tom Bombadil.
Yay! When I was watching Lord of the Rings movies, I was so hoping we'd get to see Tom Bombadil, and we never did. Ah. Sorry, book geek moment.
Is no one else here with you?
Just you?
You're here?
Oh, Tom, you're so obtuse. But these two having a conversation could get very tiring quickly. One of y'all needs to get direct quick.
What was it that you were hoping to find under those stars of yours? Huh? Certainly not old Tom.
Or was it?
Newcomers, hmm? Still newcomers.
Did he turn to bread? Okay, what form of magic do you use?
Alone yourself? I'm nameless, but you are young. And I am old.
That he is. That's why he
Well,
said
best.
newcomers.
That's what I am.
Ah, episode title.
Even your trio there, Old Man Ironwood.
He might be able to lend me a brush.
Did you ask or did you try to
well,
take?
Should have tried asking.
Thank you. Boundaries.
Over wind and fire. You wield it as if it belongs to you.
All things belong each to themselves.
Yeah, did he say that? Maybe it's because he respects them?
Wizard's staff is like a name.
I don't know my name.
It's yours to wield already. Whether you can become so, we shall soon discover.
Wizard training! Yay! Before we have the wizard fight.
I was meant to find you.
Were you? Tom's like, I don't know. I like riddles.
We're not alone.
Oh, God. Is the Dark Wizard here already?
Years ago, there was another
Tell us about him.
wizard.
Oh.
Now he controls much of Rune, but still he hungers for more.
I've been calling it Kun this whole time and it's Rune. Because I've been mixing up Khazad-dûn and Rune. I'm so sorry, folks. My apologies.
His evil will spread.
Not without an ally far more powerful even than himself.
So, that's,
If these two flames combine into one,
it was Sauron and...
there will be no end to burning.
Who's the guy at the tower? Oh my God, my brain is shut down. That was played by the amazing Christopher Lee.
Great deeds are left to the hands they were placed in.
Ooh, love that. That's me. Every time I don't want to do something and be like, great deeds belong in the hands that receive them. As in, don't ask me.
Your task is to face them both.
At the same time, bro, I'm one guy. And also, it's like kind of frustrating because I already know in the books that this does not. Anyway, let me not spoil. Actually, I'll give a spoiler alert. If you have not read the books or watched the movies and plan to do it after watching this, spoiler alert: he doesn't succeed in facing either of them because they do end up working together. I think, if this is who I think it is, if the Dark Wizard is who I think it is, Saruman. I think this is Saruman. Yep, these woods are creepy as. I'm not doing it. You see how the black elf is already starting to grab his sword? He's like, I may be an elf, but my black spider senses is tingling.
In ancient days, this was where they laid their lords and kings to rest.
Are we gonna get zombies?
I feel no rest here.
Exactly. Let's go. Can we leave go, please?
Fear not. Dead men are no threat.
You sure? What about the undead? Can we light a fire or something? Oh, that's the cave she saw. Don't go there, sir. Just mind your business and keep moving. Mind your business and keep moving. Or go fight it. Why is it so dark? Can nobody light a single damn torch? Come with me, friend. Why are you hanging back? Why did I know the black guy was gonna be the first to go? Why? Why did I know?
Don't let go!
He gave you one mission, Galadriel. Sorry, my brother. Oh no, my brother. Doesn't that sound like? That sounds like Gollum. Okay, yeah, no, we're done here. We're done here. To flee?
What are they?
Zombies! Alright, whites, ghosts, but zombies, effectively, is not what I just said. Why'd my brother have to die, though? Why'd you have to do him like that? And they're already dead, bro. How do you kill what's dead? Yeah. Y'all need magic or fire or something. I bet you it's fire. Oh, no, not the chain magic. Oh, no. Y'all couldn't have come up with this plan before my brother man died? Watch your feet. We're gonna lose another red shirt for the lieutenant, aren't we? What's that made out of? Mithril?
Only the blades with which they were buried will return such creatures to rest.
Oh.
Theo!
They kidnapped Teal. I'm really trying to be sad about it.
Do not torture yourself, Numenorian.
Theo has survived far worse.
Sadly, yes. Mostly of his own doing, but... I can't remember. Do elves have amazing eyesight? Because they seem to be way too chill in the dark.
I do not believe was done by mortal men.
They're not men. They're animals. They eat human flesh.
Okay, let him finish. He means actually.
You do better to look north.
I know.
Yeah, why?
That part of the forest is old. Promise you there are wild men there, and worse.
You have the water and provisions.
Yep. Berander is like, I don't trust you. I see you. Them big doe eyes might be working on that boy over there, but keen.
You missed a spot.
Are you gonna wipe it off? With your tongue? I thought you were engaged.
I'd like to see that.
You can't, lowly human.
I wager you're betrothed with two.
Exactly, remind her. And Aaron, you're like, I don't trust this hoe.
Did they ever do you harm?
Arondir, what are you...
Shush.
I ask because I noticed a wound.
On your neck, yeah.
Looks to be recent.
Yep.
Fell asleep by the fire.
Really?
Should have put it out, but then I was cold. It was full
Then
of
why is your hair not burned? Liar.
Self-burn. Wild men do it to hide the mark of Ada. We would have caught her at the gate had she not come in with you.
Yep.
She's one of them.
Woman. Well, woman. Respectfully, Isildur, you're tasting women.
Then you saw I was a Numenorian. Had a better idea, didn't you?
In fairness, though, most of these wildmen did not choose to become Adar's slaves.
Theo was not taken by men at all.
That's what he's trying to say. Oh, hey, you up in the cage there, bro? Time out. You look too spicy these days, Theo. You need to spend some time up there. Think about your life choices.
Well fed's a week.
Well fed. Jealous. Oh, it's a series of prisons. How did they close it? And they do carve a path. Holy crap. Y'all just be walking right in the middle of the tracks? I mean, I'm not really scared for Arendir as the other ones. So annoyed.
It's all right. Oh, be still.
Yeah, it might be quicksand.
Lift me up.
He's trying.
I'm going down.
Hold your breath. Oh, I guess you're free. Oh, she went to help. Oh God, what is that now? Oh. Oh. I'm so sorry that we came to your house. It was an accident. Aaron, is that you? God damn, he's hot. He's a hot man. Elf, whatever.
What was that?
Let's not ask, let's
Things
go.
in the deep places of this world. We shall call supper.
Not him cracking jokes. You cute when you funny. He was rubbing off on him.
Struck out one year with a caravan of followers to find it. Promised, when he did, he'd send someone back to gather the rest of us.
It just never happened.
Have you come back here to lead us all to the Suzat?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
We don't have a home.
They're wanderers. They go around and around and up. Sorry.
A rider sighted. Big folk. Coming this way.
Put out all the lights. Get in your holes.
To what do we owe the pleasure?
You put your hands on a black woman?
Do you know why we wear these masks?
Cause you're butt ugly. Move on.
You will find out for yourselves.
Seriously. The one black elf. I'm still hot. I'm still hot!
Because the suffering of a world ruled by Sauron terrifies me more.
Oh, you put that perspective on it.
Promise me, Elrond. You will put opposing Sauron above all other considerations. Even my life.
I will make no promise whose asking is born of that ring.
He's a stubborn one.
Defeating Sauron will come first.
Not much you can agree on. I feel like he's the only one who might actually go through with it, but probably not though.
Is that the key to the manacles?
Believe he meant for you to decide whether or not to use it.
I will, because all the blood in my brain is drained to my crotch.
Sooner or later they'll cast me out, you know they will.
He's like, do it. Please do it.
Put down the sword.
For real, it's an arrow in the head otherwise, so.
Estrid, drop the sword!
That's what you get. Sorry, but she does not have a... Oh, what's a tree ant though, and it looks good. Oh, he said, bye. I like this tree. This tree's petty. Oh God, they're all alive. Hi. Hi, can we have a conversation?
How long ago was this?
Winter bloom nourished many of those trees from seed.
Let them talk. Tree ants go in their own time.
Barren, uprooting, branch breakers, and trunk splitters all!
He's like, look at me. Do I look like the kind of person that would harm a tree on purpose?
I missed not.
I mean, he's so handsome. I forgive him too. Like, damn, he's so pretty. Ooh, you lucky, you pretty.
When the only sun here
was the light upon the monks.
That explains how the prisons were made.
And the breathing that ease.
Oh, now we're hugging?
We know peace.
Istrid deserved that smack.
Estrid.
Yeah, aren't you married?
Estrid.
You're betrothed? Yeah.
I thought you...
So did I.
Glad you remembered, ho. These hoes ain't loyal. Back up. Find a single woman. There's plenty of them. Arendir's like, woo! The tea.
Thank you for coming for me.
That's what love is.
I made a promise. You can come with me if you wish.
I think I should go home.
Then my Glenno, Lord of Pelargia.
Yeah, he said I respect you as a man or whatever. Boy just needs to breathe a little bit. Not be such a temperamental teenager all the time. Oh, they hunting the horsey. They all deserve to die for that. Oh. Shh. Oh, he smells the blood. It's too late. Well, the ring's got perks. Couldn't have figured that out for the black guy, though, huh? Okay.
Take it.
Well, actually, yeah, you don't want to get to them.
Take it, Elrond.
She took it off, though.
Where's the rest?
Why are you yelling at me, bro? I'm like 2 feet away. Okay, Galadriel, we haven't seen you let loose since season 1. That's right. Let them know. Remind them elves ain't no punks. Woo! She said, Matrix with it. You get for touching a lady. Not the aerial shot. Are you kidding me, Galadriel? Queen Tings. Why are you looking back, fool? Keep moving.
She sacrificed herself to
She
save
didn't
us all.
sacrifice. She's not lying. She ain't dying today.
Is Agor Uan Edraith Anwen. Agerian Edraith and Egor.
Elrond is very stubborn. Ooh, we got a little too haughty.
Elencila lumen omentielvo. Heruni altaria.
We meet again. Damn, you let yourself get caught, girl. Naughty, naughty. All right, guys, that was a good episode. That was good. I feel like this season is moving along very nicely. Very nicely. It's very delicious. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I think my favorite part is Tom Bombadil by far. Like, when I read the books, I was so intrigued by this character of Tom. And when the movies came out, I was so hoping at some point we would interface with him. But again, spoiler alert, I'm sorry, I should have warned. We don't. Spoiler, I think I said it early in the episode anyways, but yeah, we never got a chance to see his character come to life in the movies, but I love that they brought him into this prequel and just the cool, like how they made him. I feel like they definitely brought to life the cool quirkiness that I liked about his character in the books, and that he's like this otherworldly creature that looks like a man, but is so much more powerful and wise and knowing, and yet not someone who ever directly interferes with the course of anything. And this is why I said in the movies, I was really surprised they didn't put him in. I just thought it was really cool to see him, and I think they did a good job of creating this very quirky, interesting creature who doesn't really fit well into any box you try to put him in. But anyway, we'll talk, since we're talking about the Ishtar/wizard. We didn't get too much of him outside of the fact that, you know, he's still looking for Nori and Poppy, and he ended up at Tom Bombadil's, and Tom Bombadil is going to help him because, as we've seen, this particular wizard has no control over his magic. He's extremely powerful, but he is not good at channeling it and keeping it controlled. And we see that in his vision, he saw the branch that's on the tree that he thought, oh, okay, this is the staff I need. Because we saw that when he tried to use that wooden stick a couple episodes ago, it literally disintegrated under his power. So he's like, I think I need something stronger maybe. And this tree, Mr. Ironwood said, hand me, sir, how dare you grabbeth me without asking, buy me a drink. What do trees drink? Give me some water. Give me some sap or something. You can't just be ripping my arm like that. So he got eaten for a little while, got taught some manners. It was not very demure. It was not very cutesy. And yeah, thankfully Tom, let him sit there for a bit and consider it before he came to rescue him. And anyways, basically when the wizard recognized that Tom does have a command of magic, it does seem to be elemental primarily, but there's definitely more. He's like, maybe you can teach me how to use my magic. And again, Tom I love the writing in this show, you guys. Like, they're so poetical in the way that they write. And it's so nice to see a show that has such intricate writing. Again, it's something that I feel like we've kind of lost a bit in the last few years of TV. But anyway, I love the way he says, like, magic is not something you really teach. Like, you have it and it's like, I don't own it, I don't control it. Like, it's just something that when you're ready, you do. And he said the same thing with a staff. He's like, if you'd asked the tree first of all before you grabbed its branches, it probably wouldn't have eat you up. But also he's like, a staff is not something that needs to be made. He's like, you already have it, you just have to claim it when you're ready, but you're not ready, and that's why you don't have a staff. So it's a bit riddly right now, but it will make sense, obviously, as the wizard gets a little bit more in control. And hopefully, as he gets this control, some of his memory will come back as well, because there is still a huge gap in this story for him as far as where he came from, how he ended up where he is, and did he always have no memory, or is that a result of whatever catapulted him into the middle of nowhere? And so anyways, we also found out from Tom Bombadil that there's a dark wizard and that he spent time with that dark wizard many moons ago as well. But he said the reason they parted ways was because that particular wizard was obsessed with power, obsessed with gaining power. And he just didn't, obviously Tom is not one who gets involved in quote unquote the politics of this world. So he just said, like, it's an insatiable need and he's willing to do anything to get that power, including go into dark magic. And he said if he meets up with somebody else in this world who has the same ambitions, it's going to be basically curtains for Middle Earth. And immediately we see that the wizard says Sauron's name, unprompted, right? So clearly somebody who is aware of who Sauron is. And so Tom Bombadil just kind of gives him a look, doesn't say much, but he's like, okay, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. He's like, if those two get together, this dark wizard and Sauron get together, two people with the same dark purpose is going to be bad. So as I said, we didn't get the dark wizard's name. I'm guessing right now it's Saruman as a young man, because in the movies, and in the books, Saruman is already a very old man. So this is a younger person, but we already know that this is like at least several hundred years before what happens in the movies. So anyway, so that's what we find out. And basically Tom Bombadil, gratefully, he agrees that he's going to help to train the mage, or the wizard, I should say, to be more controlled with his magic, which is very much needed because he's going to apparently have to face off against both of these wizards. He's told, he's like, you're going to have to face both of them, because he asked, is it my job to keep these wizards apart? And he's like, you have to face them both. So he didn't say if that was at the same time or if it's, one than the other, whatever, but the dark wizard's the closest opponent. So he's got to level up a little bit, because I do think he's got the power, but without the control, we know the dark wizard's going to just spin circles around him. So that was basically the wizard, and that was very cool. As I said, I enjoyed the Tom Bombadil storyline a lot. And then we see with the hobbits that they ended up finding another hobbit, and this one is a Stoor. Apparently they're Harfoots, these ones are Stoors. They live in this desert place where they have a little oasis going on there. And we see that their leader is not too keen on outsiders, but when they name the leader of the Harfoot group, it's a name that she's familiar with, the surname she's familiar with. And she says that there's a legend in the Stoor background where someone with that last name was in their tribe a long time ago, but then they left and decided to say they were going to find this oasis of beauty and they took a small following with them, but they never returned. And so she was wondering, like, if that's who your leader is, and maybe you're here to help us and like lead us to this place. Because I'm thinking where they live, it's obviously not an easy place to live, right? Water is hard to come by. You saw that they had crops, but try growing crops in the desert, right? It's not an easy place. So anyways, you know, Nori tells her, like, honestly, I don't know if that's the same ancestor, probably, but she's like, we're wandering people. We don't have a home. She's like, I don't know. I don't think that person ever did find what you were looking for, and we just kept wandering. And it's a really kind of, when you think about how that story might play out, it's both sad and beautiful at the same time. Like, this person venturing out, doing something that, again, we know hobbits are not keen on, which is travel, to try to find a place that's better, and realizing, after what I'm thinking is probably, because we know hobbits live a long time too, just an extremely long time, just realizing that this place doesn't exist and they can't find it, and thinking that, I don't know what happened, like maybe that person, you know, maybe that original Sanduk died or something, or maybe they just didn't have the courage to go back and say, I didn't find it. And so instead, you've got this group that probably for the first few generations just kept traveling, hoping that one day they would find this mission that the original person who set out on this mission had. And then as the years and decades went by, that mission got lost, and it just became part of their lifestyle to continue to be nomadic, right? Like, just these people who never have a home because they're looking for a paradise that's possibly never existed, right? Like, it's kind of a cool lore, but sad at the same time. So we see Nori get pretty emotional talking about this. But I think it's A, because she misses home, but B, because like what I just said, like, that realization is pretty sad when you think about it. But anyways, that was kind of cute. We see that Poppy, as well as what's his name? I can't remember the name of nobody. But yeah, they clearly have a little something going on. So I'm like, okay, you go ahead, Poppy. She may not go home at this point. She might have found her new family, folks. Anyway, so we see that before long, the Godrum, I think is what they call them, the hunters with the masks, they do, because they knew that the Hobbit settlement exists, obviously, and I guess they generally leave them alone, but that's where they knew the Hobbits went. They went there, asked the leader to tell them where they were, and, you know, bless it, you know, the Hobbits stick together, and they said, yeah, we ain't never seen no Harfoots, no idea. So the man just basically said, all right, you defy the Dark Wizard and find out what happens to you, right? So my guess is he says, do you know why we wear masks? And she's like, no. And we saw a couple episodes ago, he said, if we bring in this wizard, do you promise to take this curse out of our flesh? So it sounds to me like these people probably resisted against the Stark Wizard, and it didn't work out for them, and he cursed their flesh as kind of a reminder of what happens if they ever go against him. So that's what I'm thinking. And so let's hope that they don't. I'm hoping the Dark Wizard leaves these people alone, but also just got to give them props for having the courage to stand up to these bullies thus far. But again, I don't think they know what they're dealing with, and that's probably why they're so quick to do that. But anyway, so that's what's going on with them. And then we see that Elrond and Galadriel and the elves finally left Lindon. My God, they were there forever. Anyways, they finally left to start heading towards Eregion. Yeah. And they realized very quickly that the bridge that would be the most direct route has been destroyed. And I mean destroyed, like to the point where if they even try to cross, the chasm is too deep and it's too wide to jump. So it's just impossible basically without going around. And of course, going around in either direction means taking a crazy amount of time. And that's what Sauron wants. He wants more than enough time to work on Celebrimbor and of course get these rings done before the elves can stop him. So he created that perfect storm. And we see that there's an argument with Galadriel, and they're both, actually Galadriel and Elrond are fighting about a lot, but they also fight about which direction to go in order to circumvent this bridge. And she, of course, is using the ring because the ring is giving her foresight. But Elrond, understandably, does not trust anything. He just is very hypersensitive about these rings. And as I said in the episode, I get both sides. Like, he is being too stubborn because I think at least twice now, Galadriel's visions have come true. So there is proof that they work. But at the same time, I also don't blame him in saying we shouldn't just put full trust in these just because, again, remember who the source is. So anyway, he decides to go through the area that she advises against because it's the shorter route. and they end up having a not so great time. Sauron has somehow woken up a bunch of wights, aka ghosts, aka zombies, whatever you want to call it. And of course, my brother man elf ends up being the one person who dies in the whole expedition. Like, really show? Anyways, like I said, I'm done. But anyway, they do figure it out. Thankfully, Elrond is very well read, and he knows a lot about this world, so he was able to figure out eventually how to take them out. But as I said, we took a loss first, and then they continue, and then unfortunately they see that there is an orc army headed towards Eregion as well, headed up by Adar. So now they're like, we can't go now because we'd have to fight our way through, and there's no way we're getting through an army of orcs. And so they're like, we got to get back to Linden and let them know that we're going to have to put together like a force if that's the case. And they decide to do that, except the orcs start hunting them. And we see that there's no way that they're, there's like, what, 6 of them versus, I don't know, like 50 of them. So Galadriel's like, we need to get back to Linden. We need to let the High King know what's happening. We can't all stay here and fight and risk dying. She gives Elrond the ring and she's like, you go and I will hold them off as long as possible so you guys have a running start. So they do, Elrond kind of leaves begrudgingly. He doesn't want to take the ring, but he does. And we see Galadriel be a badass, but as we see, like, she just can't. She would have been fine if it hadn't been for Adar. Adar is definitely no joke. But yeah, now she's captured. And we see that Elrond does not think that she made this sacrifice for the elves. She thinks that she did it because she doesn't want the rings to be taken or destroyed by the orcs. And I think Adar could potentially wear the ring, right? Because, yeah, he's half elf or he's part elf. So I think he could actually wear the ring, which would not be good. But anyway, so that's what basically happened with the elves. And then we see with the humans that they go searching for Theo. And I like that. What's her name? What was her name now? I can't remember the name. The girl who's an Adar follower, she was exposed. And because my Harandir, he's so hot. Anyway, Harandir is like, you don't miss nothing. He's like, something's up with this girl. I don't like her. The way she just be popping up information will be a little too convenient. It's feeling a little bit weird. But he does manage to catch her in her lies. And, as I said, I'm 50-50. I hate that she lied, but I understand that, like, we saw a couple episodes back that a lot of these followers of Adar are not doing so by choice, really. When their other option was to die on the spot. Like, of course, you're going to take the damn mark. But I do believe her story. I do believe she was looking for her loved ones. But I also think she was maybe doing it for a little bit of shady stuff, too. Because that mark gives her a little bit of freedom that she would otherwise not have, to be fair. So anyways, we see that, that deception upsets Isildur, but that they really don't have time to get into that because the perils of this wild and crazy land have them kind of forging together more than pulling apart. And then we see that the reason that the people from the encampment that they came across were gone or kidnapped. I mean, we saw a lot of them died, but, and that's one thing too. Arondir was like, yeah, like whatever killed them is not human. But then we see that a bunch of the other humans were being kept in trees. And remember I said, if this is the troll, there's no way he could have folded trees like that, like in such a way that they're like actually hugging and entwined. Like, what? So I never thought a million years it would be, I was gonna say tree ants. My God, I've been playing World of Warcraft. Sorry. I never thought for a second that they would be ents. I never thought that we would get ents, but I'm not mad at it. But anyways, yes, we got ents. Ents were the reason that was who attacked them. And it was really cool to see Ents. They were one of my favorite parts of the movies back in the day. But they're understandably upset because the orcs have been destroying so much of the forests in order to build their army that they're mad and they're striking back, basically. But thankfully, thank God for Arondir, because he's as old as he is. He knows how to speak to these trees. And we already know, too, that he's got a real love for plant life and botany and herbalism and all that stuff. So he was able to turn back the rage of the Ents so that they didn't wipe them out, and basically said, I give you my promise that we're going to work to make sure that your woods are not touched. At least this wood isn't touched anymore, meaning that the people in New Numenor won't come back and do any foresting in that area anymore. But anyway, that was just kind of a cool moment. And then we see that there was a reunion of Theo and Arondir, and it was, we saw Theo kind of got a little soft. So yeah, hopefully the Cold War is over there. Like I said, I've never been a big fan of Theo. If you watch my last season, I'm like, that kid kind of annoys me. But I'm really hoping that now that his he's had time to get past the anger phase of his grief once he realized his life was almost snuffed out like that. Then now maybe he's starting to recognize that maybe I shouldn't push away the people who love me enough to come looking for me. Maybe I shouldn't do that just now. So yeah, for now, they're good. They're good. But we see that Arondir wants to go and follow the track of the orcs that the Ents told him about, aka Adar's army, and see what he can find there. So he's going to head back to New Numenor, I'm assuming also with Isildur, and then my man's gonna go by himself. He's probably gonna run into, I think he might finally run into, what's his name, Elrond, most likely, and that group of elves. So I think that'll be good, because I'm trying to remember last season, Arondir never did face up against the high elves. I don't think he ever got a chance to do that, and I've been waiting for that interaction. So I do hope he gets a chance to do that in the next episode. But yeah, is that pretty much all that we got this episode? I feel like that's pretty much it. But yeah, like I said, I really like the way things are moving. I like the pacing of this season. I think it's definitely moving faster than last season did. And but all the same, I just like how all the big puzzle pieces of this grandiose plot are coming together, but also just seeing how all these different people and and characters are all kind of intertwined, even though not all of them have interfaced yet. And I'm still, of course, so hungry to know the story of this wizard. I want to know who this wizard is so bad. I want to know more about his past and what he thinks his actual, well, I mean, we heard Tom Bombadil say that it's his destiny to face both of these wizards, but what does that mean? Because as I mentioned in the episode, spoiler alert, both Sauron and Saruman, if it is Saruman, by the way, I don't know if it is, but if it is, they do work together in the future. So he clearly didn't stop that from happening if that's the case. But again, maybe it's not Saruman. Maybe he took out this wizard and then Saruman, came up in his place. I don't know. But there's lots of questions still, and I'm very eager to get the answers. So yeah, good episode. I enjoyed it. Again, I do hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I will see you in the next one.